reporting for Kids First, and today I have the pleasure of speaking with Rob Hoegee. Rob Hoegee has a distinguished career in television, including acclaimed work on shows like Thunderbirds Are Go, Stillwater, Generator Rex, and Teen Titans Go. He's here today to talk about the Frog and Toad Apple TV Plus TV series, for which he is showrunner, head writer, and one of the executive producers. Thank you, Rob Hoegee, for joining me on the show. Welcome to Kids First.
Thanks, Alma. So nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you too. What drew you to wanting to work on the Frog and Toad stories?
Well, when I was a little kid, I read the Frog and Toad books, or probably more accurately, had them read to me. So they were always special characters and special books to me. And every so often, when you get to make cartoons like I do, you get to find an old, famous book property and you get to turn it into a show. And I was given the opportunity to do Frog and Toad. And of course, I jumped at it immediately just because I love these characters in these books so much.
I read them too when I grew up. I think third grade. Yeah.
Yeah. So many kids learn to read with these books. So it's a really kind of a fun thing to be able to take something that important to a lot of kids and their parents too, and then put it on TV.
Yeah, it's a cool opportunity. Given that Arnold Lobel wrote only 20 Frog and Toad stories, how did you and your team create new stories to expand the series?
That's a great question, and it was really tricky because we made all 20 into cartoon episodes, but that left up almost just as many original ones. So the key for us was to be able to tell stories that felt as much like the books as we can. So if you were to watch them, you would say, that was that in the books or not? And we know that we knew that when we were doing it right, if members of our crew would ask us, wait, was this from the books or did you guys write this one? We knew that we were on the right track.
Wonderful. Without giving any spoilers, what should fans expect in the second season?
Well, a lot more fun with Frog and Toad, of course. We get to see a few more of the stories that we love from the books. Probably some of my favorite book stories we're going to get to see on the big screen. Um, we'll get to kind of dig a little deeper into some fun antics between Frog and Toad. Let's see. In one episode, Toad gets a new pair of shoes, and it doesn't go as well as you might expect, mostly because, Toad doesn't wear shoes. And also, Frog makes a new friend that makes Toad a little bit jealous, but the friend is not what you might think it would be. And then that turns out to be a lot of fun.
Stick, yeah.
Oh, that's right. Have you seen the Stick episode?
I have, yeah. It's a good episode. I think
Thank you. That's my favorite one.
And yeah. How did you approach the process of adapting Arnold Lobel's classic stories for a more modern television audience?
Well, interestingly enough, one of the things we didn't want to do was update it too much because there's something to be said about books that were written over 50 years ago still being just as popular today. So that means to me that Arnold Lobel did something right. And often, there's the instinct to make it modern, to make it fresh. And our feeling was we really didn't need to do that because there was nothing wrong with Frog and Toad as we knew them. Some things that we did bring sort of up to date in terms of how the books were, there's a lot more colors. We obviously have more characters. So we did sort of make it feel more like a television show that you would expect. But in terms of sort of how we approached the storytelling, it's very much like the books were.
What were some of the biggest challenges you faced during the production of the Frog and Toad series?
That's a great question too. Animation is a medium in which the characters really need to move. There needs to be fluidity. There needs to be, a lot sort of visually to take in. And if you can remember from the books, the images were very simple. There's only 2 or 3 colors. Oftentimes it was a very sort of kind of
Black and white.
pinhole looking image with a white background. And so for us, one of the challenges was to make this world look bigger and brighter and more colorful, and also still feel like the books. We didn't want it to go too far. And also making Frog and Toad actually move, the way that we animated them, the way that they would walk, the way that they would, jump and play, all of those actions needed to really reflect how those characters were, bring those personalities to life. So getting the style of the animation down was always going to be a big challenge.
But you managed it.
Yeah, I think we did a pretty good job.
Yeah, it looks great.
A lot of trial and error.
All right. What are you most excited for fans to watch?
Well, like I said, I can't wait for everyone to meet Stick, Frog's new best friend. I think that we're going to have some great new songs in the episodes coming up, which, something that was really fun to do, and again, I'm excited for everyone to see the continuation of what we worked so hard on, because again, this is something that we as the writers and animators and directors and voice actors, everyone involved in the show, we love these books and these characters just as much as everyone that read the books and is watching the show. So it was important for us that we did a really good job to make sure that what we were doing was at the level that, it needed to be.
Frog and Toad stories often contain subtle life lessons. How do you incorporate educational elements into the episodes without being overt?
That's a great question. What I found as a secret to that is to try not to be too obvious about it. Because, sometimes the best lessons in life just happen by observing and being in the moment with those characters. If we set out to tell a story with the objective of teaching a lesson, it's always going to come on too strong. So the secret then is going to be to have fun with the story, be true to the characters, and when you tell a good story in the right way, those lessons, they just feel natural. It doesn't feel like you're being preached to.
Yeah.
And you don't really, that's not fun.
No, it's not. There's a reason kids don't like school.
Yeah. And they don't want their school in their shows too, right?
No, definitely not. When they're watching TV, it's the worst.
That's right.
Who are you more like, Frog or Toad?
Oh gosh. Some days I feel like a frog and some days I feel like a toad. I want to say that I'm probably more of a frog just because, I like to live life with a lot more fun and excitement and adventure.
All right. And last question, what do you hope viewers will take away from watching the series?
I really hope that we all can take a lesson from Frog and Toad, and the big one for me is that sometimes you'll meet people in life that are very different from you, and just because they're different doesn't mean that you can't have the best of friendship with them. And oftentimes, it's good to be around people that share the same things, same interests and as us. But oftentimes we become better people, when we engage with those that are different from us. And I think it also goes to show that love is something that transcends everything, and especially when you can feel that way about someone who's very different from you. And so I think we all could take a lesson from Frog and Toad in terms of embracing the things that make us unique, and knowing that that's one of the things that is always going to make the world a better place.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting that people often get confused between frogs and toads, and Arnold Lobel made them complete opposites, but best friends.
That's right.
All right. Thank you so much for talking with me, Mr. Hoegee.
Thank you, Alma. Okay.
And be sure to look for Frog and Toad Season 2 on Apple TV Plus on May 31st, 2024.
Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so that you never miss one of our reviews or interviews. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.